Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks. I've just got a quick one for you today in the AMX 5100. This is a nice game I had on stream the other night. I'm kind of trying to 3-mark this thing at the moment. Not massively, just every now and again I play a couple of games in it and I'm at like 90% or something, so I'll probably actually have to commit to it soon and really try and see if I can 3-mark. But anyway, today we are on Highway. We've got a full tier 8 game, 1 light tank, 1 arty, 3 tank destroyers, a couple of medium tanks, a couple of heavy tanks, a pretty basic tier 8 game, to be honest. And like I say, we are playing in the AMX 5100. Now, what is the AMX 5100 all about? If you don't know what this thing is, it's quite an old tank, like as in, was added into the game a long time ago. You don't really see many in the matchmaker anymore, and I'll come on to the reasons for that in a minute. The tank's relatively mobile for a heavy tank, as you see here. I'm the first one into the town, ahead of all of the rest of my team. The armor pretty much sucks. It doesn't have any armor to speak of. Only real thing it can bounce is it stops over matches. And also it has a 100mm gun that has a 6 shell autoloader, which is kind of the unique thing about this tank. It takes a very long time to reload, 40 seconds, and it also takes a long time to unload as well, around 13.5 seconds. 2.7 seconds between shells. That's not the best thing. You can see here, I try and track the 703-2. Don't manage to get him on the first shell. Second shell does take off his tracks, and as it angles him a little bit further in, I do manage to get a pen angle. Then an Emil decides that he's going to drive across. I track him once. He repairs, and we manage to get one more shot into him, and then our team just absolutely annihilates him. We do take one shot from the 703 in the meantime, but then we're on reload, and that's us for 40 seconds. The gun handling isn't amazing, but it's not shocking. The accuracy is not amazing, but not shocking. The gun is fairly average, other than that big old clip potential. The pen is quite nice, 232 on the standard rounds, 263 on the premium rounds, and the shell velocity is pretty nice as well. But this tank has kind of fallen out of favour, and that's probably mainly due to the fact that games have got a lot quicker. So you can't really unload in this thing. Like, you only, on average, pen maybe 4 shots per clip, maybe 5 if you're lucky. You very rarely get a clip where you're going to pen all 6. The mobility is still nice. You can still relocate to places on the map, but you can't really unload fully, because you can't sit in an engagement for that long without taking shells. You kind of have to fire 3, disengage, wait for someone to fire another 3, and then you're out battled for like 50 seconds or so. I decided against going for the Skoda because he's got a lot of problems, and I'm not going to be one of them. So we decided to go for the 703 as well. Instead, he decides he wants to run away. I put 3 into him, set him on fire. I go for the second fire towards the back of his tank, and then that's it. I'm done. I can't kill him. And if he wanted to, if I had no support, if this was a 1v1, he could literally come around the corner and kill me, and there's nothing I can do, because he can just reload maybe 3 or 4 times in the time it takes me to reload my clip. I think, however, one of the main reasons this tank has fallen out of favour is because it used to be used in tier 8 Clan Wars a lot, because it was that punching power, that ability to go around and you'd like take 2 of these and there'd be like a wolf pack, and you'd be able to kill 2 full tier 8 tanks pretty much for free and then run away. Whereas it's now, the meta's kind of evolved more so that autoloaders that have less shells but reload quicker and are more flexible are definitely more preferred. Autoloaders such as, first things first, the Lorraine got added, had 4 shells, was a lot more of a mobile tank and had a quicker reload than this thing. Then the Barask has been added, since then the Samura as well, some of my special variety of RNG there, bouncing off a Barask or armor not hit on a Barask, and that's not going to be the only time that happens this game. And then obviously in more recent times as well, things like the Skoda, the Emil as well being added as one of an example of a tech tree tank, and even things like the Progetto and stuff as well that are able to just unload a lot quicker and have a lot quicker overall reload than this thing. Nice clip there as well. We do get unlucky with the Barask again, my special dose of RNG, and then manage to get 3 shells into the ice as well. But it's just, you're so inflexible, because say you fire 2 shells, you then really have to, it's a real big commitment to reload, and you haven't got that flexibility. Say this thing has been completely overshadowed by something like, say, the Emil. The alpha isn't really that high either, so if you have like 1 or 2 shots you can get into someone, you don't do that much damage, only 600 damage across 2 shots, or obviously 300 across 1 shot. It's just not that fun, and obviously 2.7 seconds between shells is not amazing when you compare that to probably the tank that this thing compares most directly to, which is the Samoa. That has 2.2, and even these days, I would say that I would rather take a G-Saw over this tank. Armor is probably the same, the G-Saw is just more mobile. Yes, granted, it doesn't quite have the same clip alpha, but the gun handling is a lot better, and obviously you get the advantage of the fact that you're a tank destroyer, so you have better camo and everything like that. And I wouldn't say they're that different tanks. You still have the really long reload, but being the G-Saw, you can engage at a lot longer range, and on the G-Saw as well, you have those insane premium rounds. I decided at this point, in terms of this game, fuck it, basically. I'm going in. I'm on 3.6k damage. That's a really good game in this tank, and I want to get another clip in. SU manages to bounce heat off me. It was just literally as I turned. I assume he aimed at my side, and I just basically opened up. And something else that you can do in this tank is you can ram quite well. This tank weighs 50 tons, and is obviously relatively quick. I managed to ram the Borask there for 403 damage, which is quite nice. We unfortunately don't pick up the kill on the CS 53 with our last shell, and that's pretty much all she wrote for this game. The Caliban was sitting up here. By the time I get to him, I'm not even loaded, so I can't go around and peek him, and obviously it being a Caliban as well, it's probably going to hurt if I peek him in the wrong way. But that was the 5100. Like I say, a tank that has very much been overshadowed. However, you still can have good games in the tank. It's still a relatively high skill cap tank, but because you've got that 1800 clip potential, no matter how bad the gun handling is, how bad the inch clip is, if you can pick your moments, you can still have very good games in this tank, and this is a very good example of that. So I hope you have enjoyed this gameplay, guys. Like I said, very quick video today. I haven't actually had many amazing games recently that I've deemed YouTube worthy. I think over the years, my threshold of what is a good enough game for YouTube has gone up and up and up, which is great because it means it's better content for you guys, but then it's also bad because it means there's less content because I don't have as many games to put up. So that's kind of what happened here, and I kind of went, this was a good game, I'll put it up on YouTube for you guys to see. So if you have enjoyed, guys, please make sure you give the video a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and let's go take a very quick look at the post-game stats. So there we go, guys. That was an ace in the AMX 5100. Also a high caliber, which was very nice. 5.2k damage, 5,247, which is actually a really nice game in this tank. 4 kills as well, 531 assisted, and 1 shell blocked from the SU-130, who must have just gone down the side of my tracks or something like that. 1,558 base XP, which is very, very nice. Pretty decent game. As well as that, 23 shots fired, 22 hit, and 18 penned. So we did pen exactly the equivalent of 3 clips. Made a decent amount of credits. However, that's probably just due to the fact that it's the Christmas event and everything. So you make a hell of a lot more credits. But 7 minutes 20 in the game. You do need a relatively long game in this thing because you got to think, if you pen an average of like 4 shells per clip, obviously you might pen more than that, you might pen less than that, your mileage may vary. But that was like 4.5 clips worth of shots. And if it takes a minute to reload and unload, that's at least 4 minutes if from the second the game starts to the second the game ends you're firing. Add in a minute to get to where the engagement is and everybody's kind of jostle for position. And then, like, an extra couple of minutes. That's probably the quickest time I could have done that amount of damage in this tank. It's if you're doing huge damage, you need a long game. Like these games that take 2 minutes. I don't think I've seen a 2-minute game in a while, but like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, you're not going to be able to do a lot of damage. By the time you've relocated into a position, located into a position at the start of the game, and then unloaded, reloaded, unloaded, the game's up. And if you've missed a couple of shells in each clip, the most you could have done is about 2k damage. So it is a tank that has suffered from the nature of the games at the minute being so fast and not being able to actually unload. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I know it's only been a short video today, and Probably not one of my best ones, but if you have enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And other than that, thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.